West Hartford. So let's bring Chris up to the stage and move this along.
Yeah, I'm going to sit right at the piano and play. I'm sorry for the interruption in the music, but that's what brain tumors do. They interrupt everything, and life gets placed on hold. In June 2008, I was in the middle of writing the song that you just heard when I was diagnosed with the brain tumor. During my first year of law school, I would sit at that piano and play. The melody you just heard came to me over time, and I fine-tuned it and continued to mold it into a flowing piece of music. However, the remainder of the song and its ending had eluded me. As the semester came to a close and the final exams ensued, I told myself that I would finish it once I went home, allowed my mind to relax and my brain to get refreshed. The previous summer, I first experienced double vision that came out of nowhere. I was prescribed prism glasses, and the double vision went away pretty quickly. I started law school that fall with no obvious side effects or symptoms other than headaches that I had always suffered from. I popped an Adderall or two and continued on my way. In retrospect, maybe I should have figured that something was wrong. I had trouble reciting what the court had stated in its cases and had moments of confusion when I was called on during lectures. But I dismissed it since this was law school and it wasn't meant to be a walk in the park. Then, on July 1st, 2008, lives changed. The double vision returned and my headaches were more severe. I was sent for an MRI, and then once the results came in, I was advised to come to my neuro-ophthalmologist's office immediately. At that moment, I just knew. Along with my parents, we went to his office where I was told that the MRI showed a massive tumor sitting at the center of my brain. The tumor was pushing everything out of place and pressing up against my optic nerves, hence the reason for the double vision. I was rushed down to Yale New Haven Hospital where Dr. Joseph Pietmeyer and his staff were awaiting my arrival. During our initial consultation, Dr. Pietmeyer informed my family and I that emergency surgery would be performed the next day. Dr. Pietmeyer can attest that nobody in the room knew how I was walking, talking, let alone even functioning. My tolerance for pain was, and still is, apparently very, very high. The next day, I underwent 9 hours of brain surgery to remove the tumor. My parents told me during a mid-surgery update, the doctors advised them that the tumor was much larger than it showed, but the doctors were confident that they would fully remove it. The removal was successful, and I remained in the neuro ICU for 2 weeks, during which time I underwent an emergency surgery to repair a subdural hematoma. When I was finally released home, I was but a shell of the person that I was previously. I had to start from scratch. I could not read, could not write, could not talk in full sentences. All that I wanted to do was sit at my piano and play, but when I did, only noise was produced. I spent my summer rehabbing at Gaylord Rehab Center in Wallingford. I was supposed to be working and furthering my legal experience, having fun with friends, and preparing for my second year of law school. Instead, however, I was reading Dr. Seuss and relearning the alphabet. I was finally sent for a neuropsychological exam, and for the interest of time, let me just say that this was the lowest point of my life. I felt bombarded after question, none of which I could answer. The results were very telling. In the doctor's opinion, I would never return to law school, and my cognitive impairments could have been permanent in nature, though they may improve over time. So what was I to do? My surgeon had always predicted the need for a VP shunt to drain extracerebrospinal fluid, but wanted to allow me the opportunity to recover and progress on my own. The odds of immediate success were not great. After insertion of a shunt, approximately 80% of patients see an improvement in their cognitive function between 6 months to 2 years, 15 to 20% see an improvement within 6 months, and 1 to 2% have an immediate cure overnight. Whether you call it a medical miracle, belief in faith, or a divine intervention, I was that 1%. The morning after surgery, my parents came into the room and I greeted them with an enthusiastic good morning. I was engaging in full conversation, answering the doctor's questions. Everybody in the room was astounded. Within a matter of days, I was released home from the hospital and went on my way. While I have been in and out of the hospital again a couple times for a shunt revision and for gamma knife surgery for a small regrowth, nothing can compare to what happened when I went home after that first surgery. I went home and sat at my piano. I intended to play my song just to see if I still had it, and sure enough, I did. It was as if I had never stopped playing, and the tumor had never interrupted me. Over the next few months, I wrote the song's ending, but also found inspiration for its title, Brainstorm. This is why we're all here today, so that we can all finish our song. I hope that you enjoy the rest of mine.